Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the room. We are back again today. I told you July, we will be back. It is the second week of July. And so we are grateful to be back into the room. Hey, roommates, I hope that you have had a great start to the month of July so far. As always, go ahead and like, love, and share. Let me know that you're here. Drop something in the comments. And so, for those who don't know if this is your first time, welcome to the room. So I am Dr. Gina Crawford, the host of the room. And so hopefully you have been able to get settled. Hopefully you have been able to get some much needed rest this month, this summer. So we're going to dive into tonight's conversation. Of course, this is a place where we talk about what we talk about that happens in the rooms of life. And so we've been here for a couple of years now. And it used to be Thorough Thursdays, but now we shifted to the room. And so, this is a place where we talk about what happens in life. This is a place where we talk about what happens in life and how to handle it as a Christian. And even if you're not a Christian, hopefully that something that's said in this space will cause you to want to turn and will cause you to want to make that shift. And so tonight we're talking about the hard reset. The hard reset, the hard reset, the hard reset. So if you've ever had, I'm not necessarily like a big technology person, but if you ever had something like a computer or something, some type of electronics that that you were used to working and working on and doing things on, then all of a sudden either it slows down or all of a sudden it crashes or it comes to a complete stop. And sometimes, panic will set in because all of my information is there. All the things that I need is housed in that space. And so then there are times where when you get to that point, it has to be rebooted. It has to have a hard reset. It has to have so many things done to it. And so as I was thinking about that, I was like, this is literally how life is. Sometimes you are going and going and going and going, and you don't even realize when you need to stop. Sometimes you're going and going and going, and you don't even realize when you have exhausted yourself. You are completely exhausted. You are depleted. But because you're so used to going, because you're so used to being the one to show up, because you're so used to, being the one to feel like you have to have it all together. As they say, you're the strong one. You don't necessarily take the time to stop. You don't necessarily take the time to stop and figure out what's going on in your life. And so just a little bit about how we got here. I want to say maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago. So maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, I woke up and it was almost as if I heard this voice that I know was God. It was like, what you doing? Like literally, it was just like that. Like, what are you doing? And so I got this epiphany, like, hey, you don't even know who you are anymore. And so it's to that point where sometimes you are so focused on other people, focused on making sure everybody else is together, focused on making sure everybody else's dreams are coming to pass, everybody else's visions, is coming to fruition, until you really will forget about yourself. You will forget who you are. You will forget, even why you're here, because you're so focused on everybody else. You're so focused on making sure everybody else is okay. And so I got to the point where it was this epiphany. And it was like, hey, what are you doing? You don't even recognize yourself physically even anymore. So there's a point where you get to the point where you're just like, okay, I'm living. Well, no, I'm not even living. I'm just existing. And so I'm not sure if I'm still living. And it looks like you're living because you're around the same people, it's the same day-to-day routines. But then something inside of you says there's got to be more than this. Something inside of you says, okay, this doesn't feel right. This doesn't feel like me. It feels different. And it's not necessarily a good feeling. And so it's when you get to the point where you have that personal wake-up call, that rude awakening, if you will, where you're just like, I need to take a minute here. I need to take a moment and just kind of stop. I need to take a moment and just kind of sit down and look at my life in totality, right? I need to kind of sit and say, I've been here for everybody else. I've been doing this because not that sometimes people told you, you just feel like, I'm the one to do it. Sometimes you feel like it is expected of you. And sometimes these are unspoken expectations. because people know that they can support, that they can depend on you. People know that, you're the go-to person. So God, if I stop, I'm going to let somebody down. God, if I stop, I feel like I'm going to be replaced. God, if I stop, what's going to happen? God, if I stop, that means somebody's going to move on without me. And so sometimes you get to the point where you will just wake up and look in the mirror and say, who is that? This same person that you've been with all these years. Now you have no clue as to who that person is. This same person that you've been with all these years, you're looking in the mirror and you're like, I don't even recognize you. You don't even sound like you. And it's not sound like you or not recognizing you in a good way. It's literally, okay, if somebody were to ask you what you like, if somebody were to ask you, what are your dreams? If somebody were to ask you what's something good about you, you would literally be stumped because you don't know. Because life has happened and you haven't stopped to take the time to recognize the fact that life has happened. So literally I was sitting there and I was like, God, what is this? What is this? And it was to the point where it's like, okay, you have spent the last 20 years making sure everybody else is good. You have spent the last 20 years making sure this person is good, taking up the slack for this person. What, God, I got to do this because what if the ball drop? So, I got to be there to catch the ball. I got to do, and literally it has gotten to the point where it's like, okay, I'm tapped out. But the other piece is the people that you've been there for don't even recognize that you're tapped out because you're the strong one. You're the strong one. And even if they did recognize that you were tapped out, you wouldn't even acknowledge it. I feel silly. I know, Sabrina. You don't even, you wouldn't even accept the fact that, wait a minute, they are talking about me. They're talking about me. And so when you talk about having the need to really sit down and have this hard reset, it's to the point where God is saying, you can't go any further. You can't go any further. I won't even let you. I won't even let you. It's going to feel so uncomfortable. You're going to feel so depleted until you won't even be able to move. It attacks you physically. It affects you mentally. Like literally, you're the person you're constantly, you think, you are a good thinker. And sometimes it's like I don't know about y'all, but it's where, and it has nothing to do with your age, but you've been having these brain fogs. You'll start a sentence and go, okay, wait a minute. I was talking about something. I don't even remember what it was. I was about to say something. Then you waking up 2:00 in the morning, remember what you say. By that time, everybody sleeps, so it don't matter. And so you've experiencing these things, you're experiencing these things, and you're thinking, oh, I'm just tired. Let me take a nap. Oh, I'm just tired. Let me go on vacation. But it's never ending. It's never ending. So what that means is you have got to take the time to stop. You got to take the time to stop. It is time for a hard reset. A hard reset. And so, of course, y'all know I like words, right? So when you look at a reset, reset means back again. It means seated. It means to get back in the place. And so literally what God is saying to many of us, hey, you can't keep going. You can't keep going. You need to get back to where you were. So sometimes in order to move forward, you got to back that thing up. Or not that thing up, but y'all know what I'm saying. And so I was thinking, and I was like, but God, what if I stop, what are they going to say? If I stop, what are people going to think? If I share this with somebody, they're going to think I'm weak. If somebody caught wind of the fact that, okay, you ain't all the way together, will I lose people along the way? And so it got to the point where I could not go another step. I could not go another step. Even down to the way that I dressed, even down to the way that I carried myself. It was just this level of carelessness and unconcern. And it was just like, I mean, honestly, you know how they say it is what it is? That was my mentality. It was like, all right, we just waking up to another day. All right, here we go, God. I don't know what we're doing, but all right, we're going to do it. It shows up in your prayer time or lack thereof. It shows up even in how you spend time with God. It shows up in how you communicate with people. It shows up where you're kind of irritable. You start snapping at people. Everything you do is you're nitpicking at yourself about every little thing. You are analyzing every little thing. Nothing is perfect. Nothing is right. Something is always off. But the easy thing to do is to blame other people. Well, if I wasn't helping you, I'll be able to get myself together. Well, if I wasn't helping somebody else, then I'll be able to do the things that y'all telling me I need to do. And so literally God is like, it's not them, it's you. It's you. It is time for you to take a pause. It is time for a heart reset. So here's another way that you can recognize that it's time for you to for that heart reset in your life. Every year starts looking the same. Every year begins to look the same. And then you look back and you think, wait a minute. You start going to the same places. You start vacationing in the same spots. Like you become so accustomed to being comfortable until God, this is just, then that what we do is we dress it up by saying, well, that's just who I am. That's just me. That's not you. God wants to open the door for more. But you can't walk through the door because you have so much baggage. So this is the time. And at first I was like, I can't be sharing this with people. This is the time. This is the time. I'm telling y'all, I woke up one morning, it was like, wait a minute. What are you doing? Girl, you have been there for this one and this one and this one, and you've been doing this and this and this and this, worn out, tired out, and then you're looking like, well, everybody else is doing great, God. And he's like, yeah, you can too. But you got just because you pause doesn't mean that you've stopped. So y'all know, okay. So I looked at the word reset, right? Let me tell y'all something. Y'all know I love words. I think something wrong with me, but I love words. So if you look at the word reset, and if you rearrange the letters in reset, you get the word steer. That's what I said. You get the word steer. And so literally God is giving you the opportunity to sit down and analyze some things. He's giving you the opportunity to sit down and say, hey, how did you get here? What did you allow to steer you in this direction that you need a reset? What mindsets, what people, what have you allowed to guide you into this direction? Of course, to steer, it means to be guided in a certain direction. Was it you, the way that you thought about yourself? Was it how other people thought about you? Was it your title? Was it your title? Is your title causing you not to pivot? Because your title carries so much weight. Your title carries so many expectations until God, I ain't got time to pivot because I got to live up to this title. I don't have time to stop. I don't have time for a reset because I got to live up to the expectations of all these people. What have you allowed to steer you in this direction that you need to take a moment to sit down? And so I was reading this morning. I was like, okay, God, what scripture would you have to even go with this? Like give me some word for it. Psalm 23, 23rd Psalm. We say it all the time. We teach it to the little kids. We give them on the little. We still do Sunday school cards. Do we still do Sunday school? But anyway, so the 23rd Psalm, and I'm reading for the Amplified version. It says, "The Lord is my shepherd, to feed, to guide, and to shield me. I shall not want." I had to put a pin right there. Can I tell you? If you're the strong one, if you're the person that everybody expects something from, if you're the person that everybody expects you to be there, sometimes you will forget the Lord is your shepherd because you're so busy trying to be everybody else's shepherd. I know. You will forget that the Lord is your shepherd because you are trying to be everybody else's shepherd. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I never looked at it before. I read it and I kept reading. I said, wait a minute, the Lord is my shepherd. Lord, I forgot you were my shepherd. Because I'm so busy for 20 years or so trying to be everybody else's shepherd. I'm trying to lead and guide everybody else, but I forgot you are my shepherd. I shall not want. He lets me lie down in green pastures. So if you're saying, now keep in mind too, inside the word reset is the word rest. It says he lets me lie down in green pastures. So this whole thing of I can't rest, I can't get any rest, I can't get any sleep, I can't do this. He's like, that ain't on me. It's in the word. He allows me to lie down in green pastures at that. He leads me beside the still and quiet waters. This is the part that got me. He refreshes and restores my soul. That's all a reset is. It's a restoration of your soul. It's the restoration of who the very essence of who you are. He restores my soul. He restores my very being. Anybody out there, you need to be restored. You just need a reset. So as I was thinking about a laptop, you know how sometimes we're working on the laptop, we're working, and so we get tired or we have to take a break. So instead of shutting it down, oftentimes what we'll do is we'll walk away and leave it on. Or if you don't have that whole automatic shutdown thing, we'll just put it to sleep. We'll just put it to sleep. So what you're experiencing is it's almost like you're the walking dead. You're existing, but you're not living. The tiredness, the weariness has put you to sleep. When God is literally saying, I just need you to shut this down for a minute. I just need you to shut this down for a minute. I need you to shut this down for a minute. He's the one who can restore my soul. He's the one who I need to depend on and to lean on to restore the very areas of my life that I feel depleted in. Yes, nobody can take away the fact that you have helped everybody else. Let me tell you something. Also, be prepared. Don't be deceived and tricked by the enemy. The people that you have helped may not be there to help you during this time. And guess what? It's okay. It's okay. Because what the enemy will do is you can't even rest. You can't even reset right because now you're looking for other people, the people that you have helped reset. You're looking for them to do the same for you. It doesn't always happen. They may not, I said this last week, I think, they may not have the capacity to help you reset. He restores my soul. He's the one that has to do it. You know why? Because God, you know everything I need. You know what I need to get rid of. But let me tell you, this hard reset takes courage. It takes courage. It takes courage. It takes holy boldness. It also takes those people that are going to be around you who are not going to be yes men and yes women. They're not, in other words, they're not going to take no stuff from you. They're not going to take no stuff from you, especially if they care about you, because you will wear yourself out. You will wear yourself out. Yes. Because we're so accustomed sometimes to being the crutch for people. And so now when I tell you that I need rest, now when I get I shared the other day. Uh Let me see if I remember what it was. Some people don't some people don't know that you're depleted and that you're tapped out until you stop talking. Some people don't acknowledge you or recognize you until you stop talking. Some people don't acknowledge and don't recognize you until you're the one in the room now who's quiet. You're the one in the room now who's saying whatever you need to do, whatever you want to do. And so now sometimes they're walking and like, okay, they're gonna explode, they're gonna snap. I don't know, but you will see. But people will make you feel bad for needing to reset when all the while you have been the person to help steer them back into the right direction. That's a tactic of the enemy to try to wear you out. He'll try to wear you out. He will try to wear you out. I'm saying this because I want to encourage you. If you are in that space where you don't even recognize yourself, where you are in this space, if you are in the space where you can't even pinpoint, like sometimes you have no words for how you feel. Sometimes you can't even explain to people what's going on in your life. You can't even explain it to yourself. We going to the sumo wrestling ranch. You can't even explain it to yourself. So you're sitting down trying to figure out, did somebody say something to me? Did somebody do something to me? And little God is like, no, it's just you. But here's the thing. We think that this hard reset or the need for this hard reset, that it happened all of a sudden. Mm-mm. It's been happening. We've chosen to ignore it. It's been happening. And for some of us, it's been happening for years. We're not talking about last week. We're not talking about last month. We're not talking about at the beginning of the year. This has been going on for years. You have not felt like yourself in years. I'm telling you, 20 years, 20 years at work, 20 years at church, 20 years in marriage, 20 years, period. Trying to make sure everybody else good, trying to make sure everybody else okay. And I'm just barely making it. Barely making it. Barely making it. Preaching, barely making it. Singing, barely making it. Prophesying, just barely holding on myself. Barely making it. Irritated, agitated, frustrated, all the aideds. Well, God is well, God, and he's like, you know how God, okay, you know how God be sitting there looking at you like, you talking to me like I don't know, but you're not doing anything about it. Let him restore and refresh your soul, your very being, your very essence. Or else you're not going to be good to yourself or to anybody else. You're not going to be able to fully operate in your assignment, whatever it is God has called you to do. You can't fully operate in it. You can't operate in excellence. It looks like it from the outside, but from the inside, it means absolutely nothing. It means absolutely nothing. So allow God to steer you, to reset you, to steer you back in the right direction. It may take some time. Don't rush it. I shared yesterday. I did a little clip. Y'all, I did good. I did a video clip yesterday. Give yourself some grace. It took you a long time to get to this spot. Give yourself some grace and embrace the grace that God has given you. Now, don't take the grace for granted. Embrace the grace that God has given you. Embrace the time that God is saying, hey, let's sit down and talk about this. Here's the other thing about the hard reset. You can't pretend that certain things did not happen. You can't pretend that you're not hurt about some things. You can't pretend that you're not angry about some things. You can't pretend like certain things didn't happen. You can't pretend that some of these things that you're going through are not self-inflicted. Now is the time to say, God, I'm just going to pour it all out. I'm just going to have to give it all to you because I can't keep going on like this. Somebody about to get hurt. I can't keep going on like this. So I hope this is a blessing to you on tonight. I hope this blessed somebody. I hope this, planted a seed somewhere. And I thank God for people who will be able to who look at me and who can tell, hey, you all right. You good. But because we're so accustomed to saying yes, yeah, I'm good. Do you need anything? No, I don't need anything. But I thank God that He will assign certain people to your life to see right through that each and every time. Each and every time. So, if you need to take some time, if you need to take a moment just to sit, And I'm not just and so here's the thing. I'm talking to everybody, but as a leader, as a pastor, um, you know, sometimes we're the worst ones. Sometimes we're the worst ones because we're so accustomed to going and going and going and going. Every time somebody calls, I got to be there. Somebody needs something, I got to make sure I got to figure out the problem. And so y'all know how people say, stop acting like you Jesus Jr. You're not God. You're not God. So what happens when y'all, this is the part that gets me. What happens when they are up on their feet? They got it all together. They are flourishing. And here you are looking like a deflated balloon. And they keep walking right past you as if they don't even notice. Steward your life well. And part of stewarding your life well is knowing when you need to stop and reset. Some people are just used to taking. Some people are just used to pulling. Steward your life well. How do I do that? I get into the presence of God. How do I do that? I've got to sit with Him. I get it. You got 12 steps to this. You got 5 steps to this. You got a book over here. You got a book over there. You got a podcast over here. You got a poem over here. You got, this workshop over here. You got this seminar over here. You got this conference over here. And sometimes God is saying, I get all of that. And He's like, I ain't got nothing against that, only if it's in my name. But sometimes I just want to sit and chill with you. Sometimes I just want to sit and kick it with you. I just want ain't no fancy popping circumstance. He's like, I just want to sit and let's just me and you work this out. Because every time, here's the thing, he's like, every time you get close to working it out, every time you get close, you feel like, oh, I got it from here, God, and you end up right back where you started. Let Him finish the work. Let Him finish the reset this time. Let Him finish the reset this time. Don't be so concerned and overly concerned about how long it's going to take you. Don't be so overly concerned about what other people are going to say. How can you steward your life well? How can you finish the assignment? How can you operate in excellence when you are tired, you are frustrated, you are depleted? And it's not because always somebody did something to you. It's because you won't take the time to say, I need to take a minute. I need to get back to who I know God created me to be. So listen, that's all I got tonight. I wrote this down in my journal. So no, this is actually my y'all. This I'm telling you, I took notes. Me and God had a conference this morning. I took notes, and so something that I wrote down this morning. It says, "I will no longer be stuck in places and around people that God did not ordain or align from my life's assignment." Woo, that's so good. I'm gonna read that again. I will no longer be stuck in places and around people that God did not ordain or align from my life's assignment. Check your circles, check your squares, check the people that you have just, I'm gonna take this one, I'm gonna take this one, and God, I'm gonna grab this one. Everybody's not your assignment, and it's okay. It doesn't mean that you're any less of a person. It doesn't mean that you're any less anointed. It doesn't. It doesn't. So go back and read the 23rd Psalm. If you need to read it in your preacher voice, go ahead and do that. If you need it to take root, let it take root. But yeah, this is for somebody. It's okay if you need to have a heart reset. It's okay if you need God to steer you back to who you know you are. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. That's one thing I've had to learn. It is okay. Even if it's not okay with everybody else, as long as God was like, no, I got you, you good, then I'm good. But don't spend 2 decades of your life. I'm telling y'all, 20 years trying to make sure everybody's good. 20 years trying to take up the slack. 20 years trying not to let somebody else drop. Well, okay, if the ball dropped, God, I got it. 20 years, that's a long time. That is a very long time. But one day, it is my hope and prayer that you will wake up and allow God to give you that same epiphany like, hey, that's not who I created you to be. Come here. Come here. You know how your parents say, get over here and sit down. It's almost like, get over here and sit down. Allow God to refresh and restore and reset your life. It is perfectly okay. Steward your life well. How can you be a blessing to other people? And how can you really fully be good to who God created you to be if you don't take the time to sit with Him when you're tired, to sit with Him when you're frustrated, to sit with Him and let Him restore the very essence of who you are? We good? All right, we good. So listen, another Brother Cares is coming up July 18th. If you have not registered, I'm gonna put this in. So this is for any man, cousins, uncle, daddy, son, nephew, you know, baby daddy. It doesn't matter. Whoever it is, give them, drop them, sow a seed, sow a seed, sow a seed. Say, hey, okay, no, don't do that because I mean, I mean that wouldn't be. I'm about to say something, but that'd be dishonest. Like, hey, let's go somewhere, and then you just drop them off and keep going. But no, don't do that. So another Brother Cares, Robert Crawford. And when I tell you these were some godly men. You don't want to miss this opportunity for them. Your friends, your family, your cousins. We're complaining about our young men. We're complaining about our kids. We see what's happening in the world. So let's get them into spaces and places that are safe, spaces and places where they can talk about what men need to talk about and be true about it and be real about it. And so it's a judgment free zone. It's a safe space. It's a safe space. So that's one thing. The Room Experience Live is coming November 7th. November 7th. Mark your calendar, save the date. Our registration will open August 1st. So save the date. And so literally, I want to see y'all in the room this year. So this room is the delivery room. The delivery room. Last year, we were fighting in the ring of life. This year, we're going to be in the delivery room. And so it is time, y'all. It is time. I realize that the older I get, my tolerance level gets a little shorter. And it's not so much my tolerance level for the foolishness of other people. Sometimes it's my tolerance level for the foolishness of me. Sometimes you get tired of your own foolishness. You get tired of your own foolishness. Yes. So find and joy in everyday life, July 18th in Lawrence, South Carolina. I'll be co-hosting and one of the speakers here. So Latressa Crawford is our host. Absolutely phenomenal. I mean, when I tell you a time of joy, a time of just thinking about the goodness of life, just thinking about how enjoyable life is and can be despite everything. So if you can't go, of course, sow a seed. All this information will be on our social media platforms. And so listen, I just wanted to tell you, thank you for hanging out with us in the room on tonight. Like, love, and share this. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, LSCM 633. And so again, hey, I don't take it for granted anytime that you decide to come and hang out and let's talk about what we talk about in life. And listen, if there are topics that you want to talk about, or things that you say, hey, let's explore this, by all means, let's do it. Also, if you want to sow one tonight, if you're led to sow, you can do so. LSC on 633 via Cash App. Also, if you want to know more about us, our books and everything that we offer or that we have, go to Linktree. Click on Linktree, LSC Ministries. So listen, I love y'all. I'm grateful for this time to sit. There were times when in these past couple of years where this would taunt me. Like this would just be like, it would be a chore. God, I don't want to do this. I don't want to go on tonight. And literally, I would have to talk myself into just walking up the steps and turning on the computer and turning on the camera. And little God was like, no, that's not who I created you to be. So we're not going to even do that no more. We're not doing that anymore. And He will lead you. I'm going to say find somebody that you could talk to, but literally pray Pray about who God wants you to talk to in this season. Pray about those people that God wants to help you with this heart reset. Now, don't say you're going to do it and you don't do it. Don't say you want him to do it and you're resisting everything that he tells you to do. So start with spending some time with him and acknowledging where you've been. Acknowledge where you are. Acknowledge, God, this is where I know that you're taking me, but I can't do it if we don't get through this hard reset. I can't do it if we can't rearrange some things and you steer me in the right direction. I can't do it and I don't get any rest. All of that is in the word reset. So listen, take the opportunity to just sit and to just think. Allow yourself to think. Well, I brush it under the rug and this and the other. No, but that rug is real. That what's under that rug? And you keep tripping over it. You keep tripping over what's under the rug. So listen, I love y'all. I pray that you will have a great rest of the evening. I pray that you will have a um great day ahead tomorrow, great weekend. Hey, don't forget, Pray 365. That's a good place to help you reset. Pray 365, 5 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can go to Zoom or YouTube. Just look for Pray. Just type in Pray 365. And so literally God has given us spaces and places to help us with these things, help us with the things that we're going through, to help us with the need for the heart reset. So you don't have to do it by yourself. Literally, you don't even have to try to figure things out. He's like, I already have places and spaces and people for you. So shout out to DGMI and Apostle Dr. Latrice Williams. They're literally holding it down. Prophet Lakita, they're holding it down. You know, these holy disruptors are wholly disrupting. So, you know, again, we thank God for all of the things that He's blessing us with. So hey, if nothing else, we will be back again next week. Share this with somebody, and we will see y'all in these Jesus streets. Holla.